Hey everybody, we're back and we are at the Utah RV Super Show. In case you've missed what's been going on, we sold our van, got a truck, we sold our Airstream, and now we're looking for a new RV. Oh, and there's a baby on the way too. So, we're looking for something that'll fit a baby and a bunch of bikes. Let's go see what we can find.
This is kind of an interesting show. They don't invite the vendors, they invite the dealerships. It's $10 a person, and this is actually time well spent. We're glad this coincided with when we were here, because we've spent Saturdays driving from one dealer to the next, and you spend hours at each dealership. All right, we're here, and it's the opening minutes, so there's not a lot of people here, which is actually really nice. Work and play, that is one of the ones we're looking at. We are most interested in toy haulers, as you remember from our previous video, and bunkhouse models that have a door big enough to fit a bike in them. I don't think our next trailer is going to be an Airstream, but our next RV will be a trailer. Let's go look around.
This is so different than our first RV show because we have such a better idea of what we like and don't like that we just walk past like 90% of these.
While we're here, I want to talk about outdoor kitchens. Outdoor kitchens are cool if you cook outside a lot, but what you don't realize is they take up about 2 feet deep of interior cabinet space that you could be storing things in. So for us, it's way more important to store things and have underbed storage than to have an outdoor kitchen.
Which is nice, but it's a redundancy, really.
Yeah, you got an extra fridge, extra propane lines here, so we would rather have the space. If we didn't choose to carry the bikes inside, this is probably the trailer we'd get. It's a Timber Ridge 24 RLS. It's made by Outdoors RV. They are awesome. Super sturdy frames, good construction. Look at these windows, just tons of windows everywhere. Dinette on a slide, and this is actually a more usable dinette as far as dinettes go. Nice sized kitchen, huge bathroom. That's one thing I don't love. Like, I don't need a shower that big, that's huge. I'd rather gain a couple feet of living space in there. But I do like this model a lot, especially because of those rear windows. These are some cool stripes. If you're gonna have stripes, at least they look a little more modern. No stripes would be better. This trailer has the word boondock in its name. Got a little bed in here and an AC unit, tiny little TV. Cool window. Looks like Tab. Tab's got to have made this. That says Tab all over it without saying Tab anywhere. Interesting. I wonder who does make it. Looks a lot like a Tab. Cool to know that people know we're boondocking finally. It's finally getting out to these RV manufacturers. I like this aluminum rack.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's really slick. It's got off-road lights, got your awning, roof rack. Pretty cool. So this is a Timber Ridge 27 bunkhouse suite. Now, we don't have enough kids to need a bunkhouse, but look at how wide this door is. We could easily fit bikes in here, and 4 of them, without having to have the whole rear door of a toy hauler. These do flip up because they know you're going to be putting big stuff in here. It has a little rubber diamond tread on the bottom. That is an awesome feature.
We've got an exterior shower, and I'll tell you, as a dog owner, those come in really handy.
Alright, this is not in our realm, but it definitely appeals to me. This is a giant 41-foot toy hauler that's probably more like 46 feet long. But there's some cool things that they do, and they do what we would already do because they know people are going to be living in these. Got a 1200 watt inverter, which is still kind of small, but at least it comes with an inverter. You got all your electrical up there. I'm betting those are solar charge controllers, but I really like the decor inside. Come check this out. This is my favorite bedroom yet. Being a short person, I don't mind the shorter height of fifth wheels, but look at the size of that. It's just very usable, and I like the colors. Like, I like the decor. It appeals to guys like me. Lots of storage, tons of storage under there. More storage than the van had, probably. And then the wardrobe over here is on a slide. and that is nice and deep as well. So this is meant for living in, and if you don't feel like downsizing a whole lot of stuff, get a monster fifth wheel and just stick to the RV parks, because this is too big to be taking a lot of the places we go. In here's a little bathroom. It's actually a good size, and I really like having the seat in the shower so I can shave my legs. But it is nice to kind of sit down sometimes, or when we're bathing the dog or something, but it's not a massive, massive bathroom, which I like. Good storage. If you're super tall though, you're gonna have to stand with your head where that skylight is, because this is a short roof, probably 6'2" or 3". Wow.
Fancy.
Who makes this?
This is KZ, so it's a Thor product, but the same people make
Thor?
Sportsman.
Okay, cool. Very cool. We're just doing a quick little overview video. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Ooh, mood lighting. Fun.
Right.
We do not use fireplaces, but they sure look cool. Giant TV. This whole thing's on a slide. Very cool. Let's see how deep that slide is. Okay. So when this is slid in, you probably cannot get past here.
Or open the fridge.
Or open the fridge. That's a bummer. That is a big bummer. But if you got something this big, you are not stopping at quick little overnight truck stops like we are. You've got a month-long stay at the giant KOA. But I like the decor, I like the size. I mean, these slides really make it big. I like the layout a lot. Now we've got super tall ceilings, and I always wondered if that would be a pain to heat.
Oh, look up.
Yeah, little kids cubby up there, I love those. Now we're going into the separate garage. A lot of people in their toy haulers like to be able to close the garage so they don't smell the fumes of their gas and toys and stuff. Our toys don't have fuel in them, they're just bikes and kayaks and stuff, so we don't really need this, but a lot of people like this. Really cool with the tracks on the floor. Man, another TV, another stereo, another bathroom. But one of my favorite features that they're doing on the toy haulers now are these outside patios. And so this whole thing flips up into the wall, but you can have lunch out here, have dinner out here, the kid can play around out here. I really, really like this. And then you can also do it on the back, where the loading ramp becomes your platform, and then it also turns into the loading ramp. So, way overkill for what we need, but it's cool to see what's out there, and I do like the design cues. It really plays to my tastes.
A lot of these toy haulers come with like fuel stations, because a lot of people have their razors or their motorcycles or whatever. This is where we keep the fuel for our bikes. As long as we got a fridge, we'll be good.
Also, the fuel stations are used for your generator, and the generator pulls from those fuel stations. Because if you think of like a Class C has a fuel tank because they have to drive, but the generator can sip from that. Since these are trailers, they wouldn't have a fuel tank unless they're toy haulers. That's why you only see generators on toy haulers. Interesting fact. This is pretty funny to see all these cords to get all the lights turned on.
Wow, this place is massive. Look at how far that goes.
So you come in here. That's really cool to have the entrance there, not right in front of the bathroom, which, you know, I hate. Cool kitchen.
It almost has feng shui if you like don't look out of that side of your head.
Yeah. If you don't look at this thing. Yeah. I know, this kind of kills everything. Why is everybody doing bathrooms so huge?
Maybe because other people are taller than us.
Yeah, maybe. When the slide is in, you can't get to the bedroom though. What a bummer. You'd have to go outside through another door. So if your baby's crying and you don't have your slide in, you have to exit the trailer, climb in, go back, get your baby, and then go back. That being said, I do like the use of space here, except this is just in the way. Really weird. Alright, so this is kind of similar to the last one we were just in, but they did a couple things right. One, this isn't on a slide. This is, which always makes me nervous when you, like Teresa said, you got the propane line and the big power to the core that every time you open the slide, that line is flexing. And they're designed for that, but it still makes me worried. So when this is in, you can't get to the bedroom that way, but you can get to it through the bathroom. So that's an option. But I like how they use the space. Like it's a corner toilet, corner shower. It's a much smaller bathroom. And they avoided having that giant curved bump that just makes it unusable in here. It still, like, visually takes up this big chunk of dead space with no windows or light or anything. It's just kind of there. But I do like the big island feel, and it's a pretty cool design on this side. That being said, this is way too huge for us. It's a 30-footer, and it's $54,000. And watch this, like, when you watch this wall when I shut the door. Like, that is your house, like, for 54 grand. You shouldn't see things flexing when you shut a door. So, we've been spoiled, but we beg RV manufacturers to make something better and blow it out of the water. And a lot of these RV manufacturers don't have to, because RVing is so popular, people gobble up any RV for sale, whether it's garbage or not. And they don't need to make them better because they sell out everything that they have, unfortunately. But we see a huge demand for an off-road, high-clearance, well-built, beautifully designed trailer to sell for even more than an Airstream. It's out there, and people will pay it, but no one's building it. This is the Micro Mini, and while it's too small for us, I do like to see them running more aggressive truck tires and having more ground clearance. They're starting to understand that that's something we want. This is one of the models we're really interested. It looks a lot like the ATC toy haulers, which we love, but this is made by Forest River. This is the 25WAB. And coming from an Airstream world, you would expect 25 to be 25 feet long, but it's actually 30 feet long. So we, as you know, we downsized to a smaller Airstream because we didn't want a huge trailer. And so we're having to struggle and tell people we want it less than 30 feet overall. So let's check this one out. I don't really love trailers where you walk in and see a door right inside, especially the bathroom, but that's okay. I would rather have the sink outside. You're going to notice we're super picky, and we've really got a lot more opinions than we used to have when we were shopping, but we want to share that with you, and it might help you. I do like the little tub. I like more of a tub because we've got a kid coming. This is a lot of space in the trailer to use up, and we hardly spend any time in the bathroom, so I prefer a tiny, tiny bathroom. In here we've got a bedroom, and wardrobes are very important. This is way bigger than what we had on the Airstream, so we can fit a lot more stuff in here. A lot of the smaller toy haulers do not have wardrobes, we're finding. You know, most toy haulers aren't meant to be lived in full time. In fact, most trailers aren't. The only ones that are meant to be lived in full time are usually the massive fifth wheels, and we don't want to go that route. Let's see if this lifts up. Okay, it's a half lift up. That gives us a pass through on the other half, but that is a ton of storage. Got a pocket door here. It does feel kind of cave-like in here, which I'm okay with in the bedroom because lots of windows make it cold. So, I don't know, it's not an exciting bedroom, but there's nothing that really bugs me about it. I love all the storage space. And then in toy haulers, sometimes you get good cabinetry and sometimes you don't as far in terms of space. These I'm going to rate like a 3 out of 10 on construction quality of the cabinets. They're just stapled together garbage wood. They're not. I've seen worse, but they should be a lot better. So we got a lot of cabinetry up here, which is nice. I think my ideal setup is to build a desk here to work from. I like being able to look out the window at my desk. And then have the bikes in here and have the kids sleep up here. And we're short people, and our kids are most likely going to be short people. Even if we had 5 kids, you could rack them up lengthwise on there. So with one baby, we could fit the baby there and then have all of this for storage. We realize we still have to keep in consideration weight balance because you don't want a super light tongue weight or a too heavy of a tongue weight. This is a pretty good size kitchen. This is as big as we need. It's about the size that our Airstream had. One thing that's not a deal breaker, but we don't use microwaves. We wouldn't want that, and we'd rather have an oven. That being said, these are easy things that can be swapped out in the grand scheme of things. I do like that the toy haulers have big fridges. That's really nice. And trailers are getting a lot better at not having nasty floral wallpaper. So overall, I'd rate this one like 7 out of 10. I do like toy haulers because the back opens. We can fit bikes in here. I like that they have onboard generators. You just click a button and it turns on just like a motorhome. And I also like how rugged they are and how they're built to handle a lot of weight, and they have really big tank sizes, so that's a good thing. It's just not inspiring. We're kind of spoiled coming from the Airstream. So one thing we're gaining by moving away from Airstream is a lot more storage. Look at that pass-through storage. We could fit kayaks, camping gear. I mean, this is probably 10 times more storage than the Airstream had total. So no trailers are built for boondocking, but they're starting to get the hint that a lot of us do that. Right here is your favorite campsite next to the highway. Do you only camp in the 3 summer months? The industry standard RV can limit your outdoor lifestyle. So these guys are catering to the outdoors people who want a more rugged chassis, more ground clearance, people like us. We admit that the build quality and the overall use of fifth wheels is pretty awesome, but there are a couple reasons we're not looking for a fifth wheel. We have friends who have the bed of their truck dented because when they went off-road, their fifth wheel tongue hit the side of the truck as it was articulating and dented it. And so they're great if you stay mainly on pavement or just on roads to get to your campsite, but if you go off-road a lot like we do, a fifth wheel is just not going to cut it like we're wanting it to.
This is the Keystone Outback 240 URS, and we've heard a lot about these from you guys. Some of you haven't. It's a very creative floor plan. Let's have a look. So, it's actually a toy hauler, but very, very different because your toy door is on this side. This could actually function, you know, you could kind of rearrange things a little bit, but you could definitely have a kid's room in here. You could, you know, protect the bikes so you don't have a kid getting tangled in them. Have a kid sleep in here. There's some pretty big, deep closets back here. In our case too, this might actually be kind of nice to use as a shelf and maybe build some more storage and stuff like that for us.
So basically this is a ramp door that goes down. It's wide enough for a quad but not wide enough for a side-by-side, which would actually be perfect for bikes. And we don't have the super tall ceiling space, which is a huge plus as well.
Yeah, like all that extra ceiling space, you figure you've got to heat that if you're living in a trailer like this year-round, which gets pricey. So come on and have a look. There's bathroom. Actually, pretty great use of space the way they have this laid out for peoples like us.
Oh, look at that! Awesome.
I know, like we're so spoiled because that doesn't, like Airstreams don't do that. Okay, so one thing that is really, really creative about this is the bed is on a slide. So you kind of get the feel of living in like a 30-footish trailer with a little bit less length. Another thing that's nice is if you're like us and you periodically stay in rest areas, you can't always put out your slides when they're on the side of your RV because there's someone next to you. This one only lengthens your vehicle, it doesn't make it wider, so you can actually do that. Now, downside, when this is not deployed, it's way up in here, so none of this other living space is usable. Also, you're going to have cold air that's able to go underneath the bed, so that could be a little bit chilly depending on where you are. And you're not going to have storage underneath the bed, because underneath the bed is your living area. So, yeah, there's not a ton of storage in here, but I do think it's super creative. A really creative floor plan.
Yep, we could make this work. It's got some cool look, finish details. They're starting to look classier and classier. Even though the build materials aren't much better, at least the look is. We got an undermount stainless sink, 3-burner Furrion oven with sweet.
Ooh,
maybe
LEDs.
Sweet, maybe not sweet. I just leave that off forever. LEDs, but it has an oven. But it's only got that one slide, which we like. But if you look at the tracks, the slide comes all the way up to here. So you pretty much have to put your dinette down and do something to the couch to make that all fit. I wonder if this, like, you probably pull the cushions out, but that's okay. It's totally usable and it's totally creative, and I like that.
Yeah.
Build quality, not so great, but we could definitely make it work, and it's small. It is actually a small trailer with that slide in. Let's go look at it outside so we can show you the ramp door and the slide and all that.
I'm sorry, do these people think we're morons? Like, not cool? Cool. Not cool? Cool. Like, come on guys, whatever.
LEDs, and especially blue LEDs, are the theme of this trailer show. In fact, look at those blue LEDs. Okay, not a ton of ground clearance, but some. And here's that rear slide we were talking about. There's your underbed storage, right there.
It's about, you know, I guess, I was going to say it's about as big as our Airstream. Ours
bigger.
has more, but this is about as big as some Airstreams basement storage.
And you gotta swing that down to get into here, the
Every
spare
time.
tire.
Yeah.
And if you wanted a rear bike rack, you couldn't extend this, but that's okay. But yeah, you can see it's just the bed that comes out on the slide. We're also seeing a lot of these electric awnings, and I know Airstreams had problems with them. I wonder if other people have as well. Let's open up the ramp door. So, since this isn't a true toy hauler, it doesn't have a fuel station, which means no onboard generator, so we would have to get a separate generator. Not dead yet. Yuck. That's fairly heavy. And then this will flip out. Oh, that's just 3/4 inch plywood. I don't know why you would even have this. I would probably just pull that off. What is this? Oh, that closes the gap. I mean, that's pretty useful to get the bikes in and out. Perfect size for us too. We want something wide enough to get them in, but not 20 feet wide. Sure feels cheap though.
I'm not ready to buy one of these just yet, but there are things that I like about it.
Okay, the only thing cooler than blue LEDs are pulsing different color LEDs. Check this out.
So their give a crap factor is a little bit higher than when you're not using other spokes. Yeah.
Oh, I did see.
Boom! Fuel is doing the best graphics out of any toy hauler, and they're not covering the windows. Thank you. Oh, but we do have blue speakers. Probably my favorite development recently in RVs are these solid steps. These are really sturdy, and they're not wobbly, and they're easy to get in and out of. And they also allow the trailers to be higher and have more ground clearance. And when it's time, the whole thing just flips up. They don't accordion or anything. They're super solid. I like that. I really like the V-nose trailers because it's a good use of space and it's way more aerodynamic when you're towing. This has propane in it, but then it backs up to the wall. So that's way better than having it flat and then have these 3 feet of tongue that's doing nothing. Another cool thing I love to see are these windows being windows instead of just full-on fiberglass cap. That allows you a lot more light inside and to see out. Let me show you. That looks pretty tacky in here, but it does give you more light, and that's always nice.
It's such a shame that this has been framed in such a hideous way. I mean, it's a window, it has so much potential, but someone got paid to design that. Like, ugh.
Design is a term we use loosely.
Somebody's nephew got paid to design
That's probably
that.
more like it. Tressa's got a great idea. You put a tough shed on here and bolt it down really good. Then you have your toy hauler and your trailer. A lot of manufacturers are moving away from these because when you've got side-by-sides and ATVs loaded up here, it's got a heavy tongue weight. And when you don't, it's got a really light tongue weight. And so it doesn't tow well one way and it does tow well the other way. And so a lot of companies are abandoning this because of the poor towing characteristics. Creative use of space, and it's burly, it's steel, it's really strong. but I would want to make sure my tongue weight was perfect every single time. I like the ground clearance, the meaty tires, and the idea of it. Maybe it does need a tough shed.
These teardrops are all the rage. People be loving these things, and they are adorable. Some of them are built better than others, but the thing that's interesting is for how small they are, the price tag, I mean, it still puts them in the range of trailers that are like 17 to 23 feet long. So you pay for the cute factor.
Go on in.
So in this case, like, this is your dinette, your couch, and it also converts into your bed. You got this adorable little shower. Look how tiny that door is.
It's your wet bath.
I don't even know if I could fit in here pregnant, like, barely. But it's adorable, cute little kitchen. I think this is definitely the kind of thing where, you know, you're going to spend a lot of time outside, and so that's a great thing, is you've got a place to hunker down, you've got a convenient place to cook and sleep, but it does push you to be outside a lot. So this is one of the few teardrops that, for being this small, it doesn't have an outside kitchen where you'd have to stand in the out of doors to do your cooking. It actually does have it up here, which is kind of nice.
I wonder what look they were going for with this one.
Yeah, I'm not sure what this is.
Yeah, the silver. No, I mean, they're trying to make it look like an Airstream. Interesting how you can pass through the cabinets.
Ah!
But here's that outdoor kitchen Tess was talking about, and that'd actually be really cool. Plus it keeps your cooking smells outside of your living space, which is really nice.
I want to have a quick peek inside to see what the difference is on the inside.
This one's $1,000 more.
Okay, so this one has a little more wardrobe space here, where the kitchen was. So you got a little more storage, and then it boots your cooking to the outside. But yeah, it's still kind of interesting. But man, I can't believe how these things are priced for the size.
That being said, they've got really good hardware. No, they're not soft close drawers, but at least I like these little buttons. But yeah, Tab does a good job. That being said, they are spendy for what they are. Now, most teardrops don't have a bathroom in them, so that's a big deal to have a wet bath inside of it.
Take a peek inside of this one. This one is a pretty big teardrop, but it is actually one of the ones that, like, is actually nice to look at on the inside, like an Airstream. It's got some cool design features, and yeah, this is actually charming and not hideous. And the thing that's amazing is that they haven't taken the time to valance every window and put borders everywhere. Like, it's simpler, and then there's just a few details that add style to it without having to be, like, over the top.
Wow, that's marine grade plywood, just like an Airstream. The hinges aren't quite as good as an Airstream, but this is the closest thing we've seen to Airstream quality at the whole show. Sweet.
Oh, cool. The sink flips up.
Oh, that's a great idea. Okay, probably my favorite feature of the whole show is your bathroom sink flips up in the shower. Because you rarely need both at the same time, but why have them take up both at the same time?
And this is also a pretty good sized wardrobe for a trailer this small.
Okay, so tabs are expensive, but they're our favorite build quality so far. And the design, they actually have a designer, and it looks good. This is a cool teardrop because you've got a bed, you've got your kitchen, and you have a separate dining area and a great sleek design. I really like it.
It's a really good floor plan. Good job, Tab. They've got this nice window at the back, and they've also got a window at the front end, so you could get a great cross breeze. And this blind is a sliding down blind, and it has a screen on it, so you could have that open, you know, all the way, or close it if there's bugs. But yeah, you can get a nice cross breeze.
So they're doing some cool stuff with the sliding screen. Really like that. I love pop-out windows. That's probably the emergency hatch as well. Looks a lot like how Airstream does their windows. So here's the blinds, and here's the mosquito shade. That is too cool. Love it. And then you can kind of put them together and decide how much blockage you want and how much ventilation you want. Awesome design, Tab.
So I guess one way to look at it with trailers like Tab and Airstream that seem expensive for what they are compared to other RVs is you're paying for someone to engineer and design a lot of features that would otherwise just kind of hastily be upholstered and slapped on.
Another big segment we're seeing lately are these off-road teardrops, and I think they're super cool. I would love one of these. Not for full-time living, but lots of ground clearance, big meaty tires. It's got a lift, outdoor kitchen. It's got nice white cabinetry. And then inside, it's a bed. And it's just a bed on wheels with a kitchen on the back. It's simple, they're 12 grand. And this is all most people need for a quick weekend overnighter to go play. I love them. I think one day when we're not traveling full-time, we'll probably have something like this.
If you're a tall person, this is especially good for you because ground clearance comes at a high priority. But it's a little bit of a tall kitchen for a short person like me. But yeah, it's pretty cool what these are capable of.
No toilet though, so it usually works best if you're at a campground or a place where you can make your own toilet. Cute though, I sure like them. And these are pretty cool. These bike racks we see up here, you can hang them by these hooks right here and hang 2 bikes on the tongue, which is cool because a lot of people run bike racks off the back of the trailer, and that just is too much leverage. And so when you hit a bump, the bike rack unweights the tongue weight so quickly that it creates bad handling characteristics.
Another thing that's really popular is these kind of retro throwback style trailers. Come on and have a look. They were complete garbage and mostly had like checkerboard floors 3 years ago, but they're starting to put a little more effort into the design. And it's just kind of clean. Everything looks pretty retro. I mean, the build quality isn't amazing on these, but they really are starting to look more like the older trailers.
That looks like the most comfortable dinette I've ever seen. Yeah.
I love that they put these beautiful pine trees here because it makes me feel like I'm in the forest. Like, just like being in the forest.
This is kind of the toy hauler version of the Airstream we had. This is an Attitude 19 FB. If you're gonna make a toy hauler, you gotta call it something like Stealth or Attitude or Ragin' or something with lots of testosterone in it for some reason. That being said, you know how much we love corner beds and corner baths. It is the best use of space that I know of. We are plenty small enough to fit in here, and I like that it's cozy and it gets warmer better. But most of these cut off right here where the door is, and there's no storage here. The big thing you normally give up on a corner bed and corner bath is a wardrobe. But in this one, they've actually got a wardrobe. And truth be told, we could make this work. That's bigger than each of us had. I don't know if we could combine that. But the idea would be to build a desk and maybe another wardrobe here as well. And I think we could make something like this work. We could fit the bikes under here. This is monstrous. It's plenty big for a kid and a playpen and strollers and all sorts of baby gear, plus bike gear and kayaks and stuff. Usually I write these off because of the no wardrobe thing with the corner bed, but this is a game changer for me, and this actually makes it feasible, and it's small. I mean, they say it's a 19-footer, it's probably like 25 feet, but I really like the size. So, because it's a toy hauler, it's got a sturdy frame. It's meant to carry side-by-sides. It's meant to carry quads in here. So it can handle the weight of building a desk or building a nice kitchen table or something like that. And the back will go down into a ramp or into your outdoor patio. The only bummer is because these have to make weight for your toys, the cabinetry is usually really bad. I mean, this is still on par with just about everything else we've seen, which is really bad. But it's doable. I like it as a blank canvas that you can build the desk you want. You can build a wardrobe and put your clothes in there, that sort of thing. So, and being a toy hauler, it's got an onboard generator, which is great if we don't go with a huge lithium battery bank and tons of solar. And because they are sturdier and heavier, you don't have to go lithium. You can put bigger batteries on them and it can handle the weight. So that is a huge plus as well.
Yeah, like Steve said, one of the first things I noticed is that they do have at least a small wardrobe in here, which is something that the shorter toy haulers usually don't have. Yeah, I mean, the corner bed is such a good use of space. I think we'd probably want to come up with something to give us a little bit more like privacy and quiet from the baby, but you can't beat the use of space on a corner bed.
I think to make this perfect for us, I would make this twice as wide and move the entrance this way a foot. Then we could have a big double wardrobe and there'd still be enough room for the desk. Now, I don't know what it's going to be like to have to open that ramp every time we go mountain biking. That might be a pain. It may let out all our heat. It may let a ton of bugs in. It may be a total pain. But we love our bikes, and that's the main reason we're still traveling, is so we can keep mountain biking in new places and keep working on Tess's job, Dusty Betty. But this is one way to make that possible. And since these are so tall, you can build up. So another idea I have is to raise this up like another 3 feet. Granted, it would block that window. But just like tiny homes, I wouldn't mind climbing little stairs to get in the bed, because I'm very rarely doing cartwheels on the bed and I don't need that much ceiling space. I guess you do have a shelf up there too. That's kind of handy. And you could probably put a shelf in here on the side. Maybe we could put enough cabinets there to make it worth it. I don't know.
Steve only does cartwheels on very, very special occasions.
I'm usually a round-off guy. The graphics are still tacky, and it covers half of this window to have this sticker that carries on this theme of
Whatever that is.
And I'd rather have a window that's wide than tall, but that's just me. They probably did that because it's in between some frames or something. So when I see this, you know where my brain is immediately going, is that you could probably fit bikes in here. But it's probably an outdoor kitchen. But that could be remodeled, right? We could take that out and extend it in there more and make it a mini toy hauler.
This is a Striker 2613. Let's have a look. Here is a bedroom. This is a massive, massive
Holy cow.
That is big. You've got dual wardrobes. A lot of storage. Wow, this is nice and big.
So this one measures 31 feet, bumper to ball, which is right about in our range. Big shower. It looks nice. I wonder how these would do going down the road. This Striker company is made by Thor. Yeah, just not thrilled about everything. I wonder what's under there, if it's the water heater. A lot of storage space in here, though. It's got a nice design. It looks nice.
Alright, we got a nice corner kitchen. Really big kitchen. Look at all that prep space you get. All of your kitchen appliances pretty much are on a slide, which, like we said, sometimes makes us a little bit nervous to have those connections coming in and out and moving so much. But it makes it really open. Lots of open floor area here.
I really like that. And when the slide's in, you can still use it. You just lose this here and that cabinet there. I would be willing to have all of this be on a slide. I really like it. One thing you lose when you have a slide is you don't get cabinets up above it because you need the slide mechanism in there. So you use the cabinets up there. This is tacky, but...
That is super tacky.
And like subwoofers and blue LEDs.
Check this out.
Oh, gotta have it.
Oh yeah.
Gotta have it.
Yep.
Anyway, it's a good use of space. We like the slide here. I would like to see slides in smaller travel trailers, but there's a reason they don't do it. When this slide is in, you can't get your razor in there because the fridge is there. We're not putting a razor in, so we don't care, but that will be a deal breaker for a lot of people. That's why you're not seeing big slides like that.
And I could see too how by changing just a few things, especially in the bedroom and the bathroom, you could easily shave like maybe 3 foot off of this and have like a slightly smaller model too. So it's just cool to see what they're doing.
I have a soft spot for these hybrid trailers. I think they would encompass the best of both worlds. You still get the camping feel, but you have a fridge and a toilet and stuff like that. Never owned one of these, never been in one as a kid or as an adult, but I think it's a pretty cool concept as a step above a tent. So jealous of that storage.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Look at that. Dang. Jealous. You could put a bed slide on this. It has a bed slide. Look at this. You could totally fit bikes on that.
This could be little Dusty's room.
Oh, we gotta go inside there. This is awesome. It's like a van with an RV built on top of it. Wow, and that feels solid.
This one's too big to be in the running for us and too heavy, but we gotta see this.
Man, I'd be showing that off too. That's amazing. Look at those tires too. We're starting to see really good big tires on these. Wow. This is a big boy, 37.5.
There's lots of people here.
Let's go this way then. Oh, no wonder. It's the elevated living room.
Started seeing these a couple of years ago. They're this type of floor plan with some living space up in the back is getting more popular.
This is cool because a lot of fifth wheels are like 12 feet tall and you don't use the space up top, but now you can use the space underneath for storage, and it gives it kind of a split level Rambler feel to the house, which is really cool. We'd only seen this by Montana before, but Grand Design has a really high reputation for build quality. Grand Design also makes a toy hauler that I'm hoping is here because I really want to see that one. This is beautiful. Really good finish. Wow.
Holy cow.
That's got to be a residential fridge that does not run on propane, so you got to be hooked up to be running this or running the generator. There are some people in the bedroom that are looking interested, so I don't want to disturb them. But that is amazing. That's more gear storage than human storage, which I really like. It's getting harder and harder to film at these. Certain people viewing this are very possessive of their trailer, and they'll go in and just kind of sit down and like give you the stink eye if you dare to peek your head in while they're sitting there enjoying what they might have as their house. So we're not able to film quite as much as we would have liked, but we're still getting a lot of good stuff. Now, Grand Design makes a toy hauler called the Momentum, and they make a model, the 21G. It's not here, but it's very high on our list, something we wanted to see, but they're in such high demand and low supply that they didn't want to bring it to the show, build up a bunch of hype, and then not be able to fulfill people's orders. So we're gonna have to go to a dealer, see if we can find one of those. This is the Shockwave T18 CBMX. Hey, if you ride BMX, you can use this one.
Alright, let's see. It's got the corner bed, which we really like.
And this is probably a pantry, but it would, no, it's a wardrobe.
Oh, with a pipe that runs diagonally through it. Oh, that's just
You never know.
I was like, you never know. We've
You never
seen
know
that.
in an RV.
Phew.
All right, so wardrobe.
And more cabinets here.
And we could make that a wardrobe. Hey, I could do that.
Yeah.
So we like the corner bathrooms, as you know. And this is a game changer, just having that foot of wardrobe with your corner.
That's a really good use of space.
Look at that, perfect. I could do that, and it's small.
Yeah. We'd probably have to put a desk here, and then Steve would have to put away all his work stuff because that would have to share our dining area.
But it's the closest thing to our Airstream that's still a toy hauler.
For being so small, this could work.
And no blue LEDs. All right, I like the Shockwave 18 CBMX, 32 grand. It doesn't have the fiberglass side, but I don't really care. They probably make a model that's exactly the same with the fiberglass side. This one has some big stabilizers on it. I like that. Those look like nice tires and a solid frame and good ground clearance.
There's a half pass-through under the bed, which means that there's probably like a holding tank under here.
Well, this is the bathroom, yeah, so that's going to be your black tank and gray tank there. And an exterior propane connection. Low point drains. What is this, our sewer hose? Yep, stick your sewer hose in there. Oh, here we go. Specs. Tell us the weight. So we were talking to one of the dealers here, and he shares our frustration that model numbers are not even close to accurate. In one brand, it's a 27 FB, and in another, it's a 21 FB. They are the exact same trailer. So don't judge the length of a trailer based off the name and model number of it. You have to actually look at the specs. Thank goodness Airstream's fairly close on that, which I love that they do, because you know that a 26 is longer than a 25 usually. But it's been awfully frustrating in the toy haulers to climb in a 27 that's shorter than a 24 in a different model. Really confusing. It's been a little bit frustrating that this is put on by each dealership and not the actual manufacturers. I wish we could go to a show where, you know, Heartland shows up and Outdoors RV shows up instead of the dealer selling them, because they're only showing the models that they stock, not the models that are available. So that's been a little bit bummer. I would have liked to have seen some of the unique models that most people don't stock. We may have to go to a giant RV show, but the problem is we need an RV in the next few months, and I don't know of any giant RV shows in the country in the next few months. If you can plan a year in advance, like a lot of people, that really helps, but we can't do that.
Yeah. Another thing that's tough switching from an Airstream to some other brand is that we were able to have a house that like had the look that we like. You know, when you choose a house, you decorate it the way you want it, and it's kind of nice to get that when your home is on wheels as well. And when I picture any of these rigs set in a beautiful landscape, like a lot of the places that we've boondocked, like, I think I'd rather cut it out of the picture. Whereas the Airstream, you're like, oh, it looks beautiful.
It adds to the picture.
With these, you'd be like, a little to the left, a little to the left, until it completely cuts these RVs out. Like, I just think, don't they want these to look awesome in a beautiful landscape? But like, they don't care, and so, you know, all these trailers, they are what they are, and they serve a purpose, but they sure are ugly. It's like nobody even cares. These companies don't even care.
They need to hire some millennial consultants to help them know what people care about and what they want, because we're now a big market of the RV world. Yeah, I'm with you. Airstreams were so awesome feeling. Now they're super trendy now, and it feels like everybody's got an Airstream now, so it's kind of fun to step out of that and be unique again. But man, there's nothing even close to an Airstream. We will say that 1,000 times over.
Even before coming to the RV show today, we have been looking for a couple of months. And this 24EX is made by Sandsport. It's one of our favorites.
Now, Sandsport is owned by Pacific Coachworks, so they also do the Ragin. They do like 9 different models, and they're all the exact same floor plan, just a different name.
So you've got the fridge here, kind of in this hallway. You've got a bit of a narrow, I don't know if that would be a pantry or a wardrobe. And then one of our really favorite things is when they put the sink outside of the rest of the bathroom. You guys will know that this is how our Airstream was, and it's just really nice. Someone can be in the bathroom, someone else can be brushing their teeth and getting ready. So yeah, so that's really nice. A little bit of storage under there. And then I'll have Steve peek in the bathroom for you.
It's a tiny bathroom, which we love. Bathrooms are the most wasted space on a trailer, and this one's nice and small. Still not amazing quality. I mean, it'd probably be fine for a couple weekends a year, but come on, we'd pay another 10 grand to have this built right. Just really cheap, like the caulking's not even straight, and yeah, frustrating. But we like the layout. Continue.
Anyway, so the bed is sideways, and it is also in the corner, but they still give you 2 wardrobes, which is nice. A lot of places think it looks ugly to not have it be symmetrical, so they'll only give you the 1 wardrobe over here, but they do have both. Got a shelf up above.
This doesn't lift because it's a full pass-through.
Yeah.
And there's a generator over there.
So you do get a ton of storage underneath, which is still really, really handy.
This is our favorite toy hauler we've been in yet. There's a couple more we need to see, like that Grand Designs, see that in person. But it's kind of nice because it kind of makes a hallway that we can have some privacy from the kid when we want some alone time, and it's still really open.
There are a few others with the same kind of floor plan. I don't know what I think about like decor or anything like that between the different models. But as far as floor plans go, this is definitely one of my favorites. It also has, because the fridge is out of the way, they've tucked the rest of the kitchen up into the corner, which gives you a nice couch on this side, as well as a space over here. So we could feasibly have a lounge area and a desk, which could be really nice, especially with a little kid. And then, you know, bike storage would be for us, kids, sleeping area, all that stuff.
Now, even though it's a 24EX model number, it's something like 30 to 31 feet long, which is about our max, but we haven't found another toy hauler that we like that uses the space as well.
This is about as big as we would want to go, but this is definitely one of our favorite floor plans.
Too bad build quality is not a little higher, but we do have lots of storage. But look, you still have those tacky graphics blocking 80% of your window. What's the point of a window if you're going to plaster it with graphics? It's so bizarre to me. So weird. Anyway, we do like the layout. And there's no slides in here, but it still feels very big. So here's the pass-through with the area under the bed. That's really hard to see. Is there a light to flip on? Ah, no light. Well, we have this. So that metal over there is the generator casing, and that's the spot under the bed. It's kind of hard to get to, but there is a lot of space in there. Ooh, blue outdoor speakers. Must have. And your blue rope lighting. Sign me up. Because we just love blasting music at our neighbors when we're camping. Hey, but at least they don't have any swoop stickers covering the window. They at least put them around the windows. Okay, we're gonna look at some lances. We know a lot of you are huge fans of lance. We aren't when we've been in them, but we haven't seen their toy hauler yet. We're hoping to find their toy hauler here. And this is not one of them. So I don't love the decor, but it does feel a little higher quality than most. So I will give them that. I like that they're using that. I like the east-west bed. So this is surprising. It's a little bit better built than we saw last time. Actually, a lot better built. Their woodwork looks really nice in here.
You know what I can't wait is most RV doors have like these big gaps. We're gonna have a little kid like this. Mom! Mom! Can't wait.
We used to think the gaps were poor construction or to make up for a curved ceiling, but it's actually to allow airflow when you turn on your vent to suck air through to get out the vent.
We're gonna check out the iconic 2514AK. Let's have a look.
It's just like the Sand Sport 24EX, but it's a little bit longer. It has a full sink here instead of the corner sink, and it has a door so you get the full privacy, and a north-south bed. So it's probably 2 or 3 feet longer, but very similar layout with the fridge here on the left, making a little hallway, L-shaped kitchen, cabinetry. I like the decor in here a lot better. They still got those stickers, but at least they're kind of down low.
Yeah, as far as the look goes, I will say having like wood valances and less like fabric-y valances kind of chills it out a little bit.
I like this one actually. So this is one where we could have like a kitchen table and a couch and a desk right here.
Could be pushing it size-wise, but I really do like the floor plan.
Yeah, it's a Model 25. I'm betting it's like 32, 33 feet. We'll have to check it. But I like the idea of a generator. You know, we're looking for our next house where we're going to settle down one day. I don't know if that's going to be 5 years from now or 5 months from now. So it's hard to like know if we want to dump 20 grand into solar and batteries again. So having a generator is really nice to just kick it on, have power when you need it. Generators are annoying. They make exhaust, they make noise, they require fuel. But it's a heck of a lot cheaper than totally outfitting it with solar like we did before.
And I really like how these corner kitchen models would leave more living space for me and baby and Fender while Steve is working, that we'd still have a place to sit and read a book or do things like that.
We also wanted a spot big enough for the baby to learn to crawl and crawl around and wiggle around in, so that's why we're going for a bigger trailer this time around. It's hard though, not being in an Airstream, knowing that when it's time to sell this, we are gonna eat it. We'll probably take a 50% loss, and that's crazy. That's why we're being so meticulous and methodical in shopping. This is a Vengeance 28 toy hauler bunkhouse. Check this out. This is very unique. Right here, you got a bunkhouse. I think that's a cool use of space. Only took up about 2 feet to fit 2 kids in there. This is interesting. Must put a TV there or something. A little bit smaller fridge than some of the others. Oh no, just sits lower. Hey, not bad. And no blue lights. Oh, we got blue lights. Cannot escape the blue lights. Stick that back on. Pretty cool though. I haven't seen a toy hauler with the bunkhouse with all this. That's pretty fun. It's got the patio. We could definitely fit the bikes in here, do the desk thing. That could all be storage for us.
Oh,
Put
yeah.
the baby up here, and this could be kayaks and camping gear and all of that. Not bad, but not like the most inviting room, but it's okay. It's very functional. I just don't like giant walls. I don't like it feeling all closed off. I like that big openness. Basically, I want our old Airstream with a big garage on it that we could put toys in. Not a monstrous bathroom, and I give them props for that.
Yeah.
That's good. But look at these. Like, you wonder why Airstreams are so much more expensive. That's the version of a Fantastic Fan you get in this. Not the same thing. Not even close. How do you feel?
I don't feel amazing about anything yet. I really like the Sandsport floor plan, the 24EX. It's a great floor plan. You know, other elements of things that I saw that I liked, but, you know, nothing's jumping out at me.
We're seeing some cool trends. No more flower prints on the wallpaper inside. Less valences. Way too many blue LEDs. A lot of good ground clearance, and we're seeing stuff with like meaty tires on it. So that's cool. They're getting the idea that we are going for outdoor stuff where you're getting off the grid and we're driving over dirt and stuff like that, and that's important to us. So yeah, there were a couple floor plans I liked, but the only quality that blew me away was tab trailers. Everything else, and I like the Grand Design stuff a lot. I really wish we could have seen their toy hauler. So we're gonna have to go look at that at the dealership. But it's been interesting. It's been a little bit sad. I was hoping something would click and we'd be like, that's the one we gotta have, but we found a few floor plans that would work, but nothing that really surprised us. No one's being that different, and there's definitely a market for a rugged, off-road, well-built, beautifully designed, premium price off-road travel trailer. Australia does it. They've got it right. They know how to do it. But no one's doing it in the US, and I don't understand when we're selling out of Raptors and Tundras and Tacomas, and those big lifted trucks are so popular all over the US. You know the big lifted trailers would be too. Anyway, those are our thoughts. Wish us luck as we keep looking. That was exhausting, and we are no closer to knowing what we want.